Who inherited Steve Jobs' fortune? Steve Jobs was worth $10.2 billion when he died in 2011. He had a wife and 4 children. Here's where all that money went. 1. Laurene Powell Jobs, Steve's widow. Laurene inherited the majority of Jobs' fortune. She received his stakes in Apple and Disney. Today, her net worth is estimated at $12.8 billion. Laurene met Steve at Stanford in 1989. He was giving a guest lecture at the university. Laurene was a student.
He was not that big of a deal to me.
She admitted she thought he was Bill Gates, but the chance meeting was followed by a string of dates. They got married less than 2 years later. During their marriage, Steve and Laurene had 3 children, Reed, Aaron, and Eve. After Steve died, Laurene turned to philanthropy. In 2004, she founded Emerson Collective, a social change organization. In 2017, she acquired a majority stake in The Atlantic magazine. The deal cost her over $100 million. She also owns stakes in the NBA Wizards and NHL Capitals. Laurene has no intention of passing on her fortune to her kids.
Steve wasn't interested in that.
She says,
"If I live long enough, it ends with me. I inherited my wealth from my husband, who didn't care about the accumulation of wealth. I dedicated my life to doing the very best I can to distribute it effectively."
2. Lisa Brennan-Jobs. Lisa's relationship with her father was troubled. Her mother was Steve's high school sweetheart, Kristen Brennan. For years, Jobs denied paternity. He refused to support either Kristen or Lisa. Kristen went on welfare and worked as a cleaner, but then he relented and they reconciled. Despite the initial neglect, Lisa moved in with Jobs as a teen. They never became really close, however. Lisa is a writer. Her husband, Bill Moraine, used to work for Microsoft. In his will, Steve Jobs left Lisa a multi-million-dollar inheritance. 3. Reed Jobs. Steve's only son didn't get any of the money. He received his master's in history from Stanford in 2015. Then he worked at his mother's philanthropic organization. Reed was a managing director at the Emerson Collective. His field was supporting cancer research. Reed Jobs recently left Emerson to start a venture capital fund called Yosemite. The fund will continue to invest in cancer research. Yosemite raised $200 million during its initial funding round. 4. Erin Sienna Jobs. Erin likewise received no inheritance from her father. She's the most private of Steve Jobs' children. She has no social media presence. Erin studied architecture at Tulane University. She's 28 years old and keeps in touch with her siblings. 5. Eve Jobs. Eve didn't get any of her father's fortune. She's done quite well for herself, regardless. Steve's youngest daughter is a model and an equestrian. Prior to launching a modeling career, Eve attended Stanford. She graduated in 2021 after studying science, technology, and society. Steve Jobs died when Eve was only 13, but he said one day she'd be either Apple CEO or President of the United States.
She's a pistol.
Steve said,
Eve has the strongest will of any kid I've ever met.